I can give you story upon story. Samson, timing. All the kings, timing. Jonah, timing. The disciples, fishermen, timing. Right place, right time. Whose time? God's timing. Time and chance happen to us all. Promotion does not come from man, but from the Lord. He raises up one and sets down another. Timing. Boy, I had people tell me, man, I'm going to tell you who told me this. My so-called wife. Since you've been doing this long, and this is how far you've gotten. Oh, Lord. Thanks for the motivation. I've been doing it for a long time. Thank you for letting me know that. I take that negative energy and throw it in the window somewhere. Because one thing about it, no man or woman knows the right time or when I'm supposed to be where or how I'm supposed to be at a certain time. And the same thing goes for you. You should be further along now. You should be this and that. It's all about timing. I had a cousin that for years and years wanted a child. Him and his wife couldn't have one. The doctor said they couldn't have children. No, it's just not going to happen. Behold, she got pregnant eventually. Had a son. Timing. Forget what people say, but forget what the doctor says. God's timing. I dated a woman back in the day when I was in the military. And I'm going to tell you the true story of this. She was a pretty good girl. Had a few issues, just like we all do have. But I remember she telling me something. She said, I can't have kids. The doctor told me I couldn't have kids. And that vexed my soul. And one of the main reasons why I stopped dating her because of that. Am I faithful? I didn't know better. But it's all about time. I guess it wasn't meant. So we broke up. Came back to Mobile. She stayed in California. Freshly getting out of the military, I'm ready to party and live my life. I'm like, man, I don't want to be tied down to no woman. Behold, a woman come around. Behold, shortly after the woman come around, a child come around, my firstborn. I'm thinking I'm ready to party and chill. But the Lord had another plan. Here you go, a child. You left this one because you couldn't have one. Here you go, I gave you one that can. Then after that, shortly, probably a few years later, found out she had a child. I was like, amazing. But a lot of this happened when I started getting faith and belief in God. I started like, wow, this is amazing. I done seen so many people say this and say that about certain things in life, and things just happen. Amazing. I got a brother that was going through separate problems with his wife. And I had just had problems with mine. I just went through a divorce, a separation. And my brother used to come to me. And the weird thing about my divorce, I didn't grow bitter towards marriage, like most. I didn't grow bitter. My brother was telling me all the problems he having in his marriage. I'm like, wow, man. But the Lord told me to tell him something. Hey, man, if you want your family, work for it. Pray for it. And guess what? Everything worked out fine. They was on the verge of separation. But at the right time, because he didn't give up. I used to watch different people give people advice in regards to certain things. And you can't listen to everyone's son and daughters. You can't listen to everybody. Some people are designed to distract you. God is going to try you now. And the devil is going to tempt you. But one thing you need to know, the Lord is watching. And there are always people along the way to keep you on the right path. And there's people that try to dissuade you, like in Hannah's case. But she knew who to call on. I told my brother who to call on, and he did. And they got back together. 2 kids popped up out of nowhere. Wow, amazing. You got some people in this world that are designed to disrupt your purpose. You got some people in this world that are designed to help you achieve your purpose. And Cornelius' case, Peter was sent to help him fulfill his purpose, receive the Holy Ghost. That story is specifically about the Holy Ghost. He's finna receive the Spirit of God. But his works, he was gonna receive it. Just like she was gonna receive a child eventually. She didn't know. She didn't know when. She just never gave up and she trusted in the Lord. This man, Cornelius, trusted in the Lord. And sometimes it got something to do with your parents. How they trusted in the Lord. You know, our people beat themselves up over a lot of things, people. A lot of things. But it's all about timing. You know, I always tell my story and I got to tell it with honesty and truth. My mother was not married when I was conceived, but I came. It had to be perfect time. It had to be time for me to come one way or the other. Because if not, I wouldn't be here. All about timing. You got to think about it. Think back on your life and look at things. I remember when I got out the military, I joined the military thinking I was going to have a love for computers. I realized I hated them. It was boring. I had a job offer in California to continue on with my network administrating job, but I turned it down. My heart was not in it. Do you understand? My heart was not in it. I thought I surely knew what was the best for me. Well, I can make a lot of money doing this, but my heart was not in it. So I went on a path of different jobs, bouncing. Even tried to be a minister. It just wasn't the right time. You know, but along the way of bouncing from job to job, I started picking up different skill sets, forklift, warehousing, manifesting, all these different things that didn't make no sense to me. And I remember when I was in Opelika, I'm in Alexander City, and I used to talk to my brother. He was like, man, I work with this guy. And he was like, we go on the road, we pack houses. He was telling me how great the job was. And I was like, man, I wouldn't mind doing that. That sounds fun. You know, but I wasn't ready. I was like, I don't know, man. But I had to go through some hardships. And then when I finally got to this job of moving people, now you got to think about it. My brother had to be there first in order to open the door for me. And I'm thinking back on all the stuff I've learned over the years. They make perfect sense to the job I'm at right now. So I'm trying to tell you something. When the time is right, God is going to open that door to whatever it is, the desires of your heart. When your heart is made right with the Lord, at the time accepted, whatever you've been asking for, whatever you've been hoping for. Faith is the belief in things hoped for, not yet seen. All my life I've been trying to reach a certain status, do things a certain way, my way, try to get myself out of debt, get myself out of the hole. And it never worked. And a lot of this time when God was on my side, he was on my side my whole life, and I didn't see it. I was on my after the fact that I gave my life to God. When I gave my life to God, things didn't get easy for me. Lost houses, lost family, lost friends, lost all these things. But one thing I never stopped doing during this time period was calling on the Lord and doing what he asked me to do for him. And the same thing goes for you. I never in a million years thought I would have started working with my brother. And God would lift me up and move me up the chain like he did. I could tell you so much more, but I ain't here to gloat. I'm not here to, I'm just here to tell you how good God has been to me. I can tell you certain things that you wouldn't believe. But it was all about timing. I remember a few years ago, I've been going through a divorce and I've been going through things, and I wanted a car. Like I couldn't get the car on my own. I couldn't make enough money. I don't really file taxes. I don't. It's been years. But I noticed something. God doesn't want me to trust in my funds. He don't. I'm starting to realize that he don't want me to trust in what I can do with my hands. I remember about 5 years ago, I was working at this job I'm at now, and he had a car, a Cadillac. And he was like, I'm going out of town this weekend. You could drive the car over the weekend. I'm like, okay. So I drove the car over the weekend. And come Sunday, I cleaned the car up and washed it. So when I brought it back, it'd be looking tip-top shape. And I remember bringing the car back, and my boss was like, if you wash that car, I had made it in my heart, if you wash that car, I was going to let you drive it on a regular. Never would have knew just washing the car would have gave me a car. Wow. No money, no nothing. Faith and works. Faith and works. You see, the thing is, most people think faith and works goes in reaching towards your goals. No. Faith and works is about doing what's pleasing to the Lord. I keep the 10. Sell all you have and give the alms to the poor. You got things to do that God sees. And it's got nothing to do with what he want to give you. But doing certain things will give you the kingdom and give you everything you need. You don't have to work towards your goals. All you got to do is work towards the high calling of the Most High God. And everything that's meant for you is going to line up in a time accepted. It's going to line up, and then next thing you know, bam, bam. Everything needs to be shaken, bam. Everything needs to go, bam. And then when everything falls in place, it's going to be perfect timing. If you faint not, the job I'm with, I've been fired at the job I'm with. Still there. Everything works. If you faint not, so many adversaries have come against me to try to move me and shake me. But in certain cases, the adversary did shake me and move me on to the next level. If I would have went through so much stuff I did went through with my wife of late, I wouldn't be in this house that I'm in right now. Perfect timing. Let me tell you something about this house that I'm in right now. I remember my cousin a few years ago when she first bought these two properties. And I was like, it's a nice house. Like, I wouldn't mind staying there one time. And I was going through certain things, and I was wanting to get the house, but every time I wanted to get the house, somebody else was staying in it. Somebody was staying in this house that I'm in right now. Somebody was staying in it. But it never worked out with the people that were staying in it. I never figured out. I'm like, wow, it never worked out for them. In and out, in and out. Nobody could keep and stay in this house. Along came this year, probably about January or so. I went through some hard times with my wife, and I was in the hotel room praying and seeking the Lord. I was figuring out how much money I was spending on this hotel. I was spending like $1,000 a month, like $230 a week, $240 a week. I'm like, man, this is a waste of money. But it didn't bother me. I'm like, shoot, I got like little funds that God has blessed me with to be able to pay for this. So I'm praying, and steady seeking God, steady doing the works that He has for me, not letting nothing get me down. And I remember at the hotel I was staying with, the Bama Hotel, there was a woman. I was outside because I always sit outside and smoke cigarettes and drink and chill, but do my thing, you know, listen to my music. And a woman came. She was just walking by and she was just talking to me. And she was like, "You mind if I come in and talk with you?" So I was like, "Yeah, you can." And we was just talking for hours and hours. She was like, "Yeah, I'm about to leave out of this room next door." And she was telling me a story about her having a accident, and all of a sudden everything's paying off. She's gonna get a lump sum. And she was like, "I got a lot of food and groceries I want to give to you." And I'm like, "Why me? I just got here. I just met you." But she was like, "I wanted to get it to somebody, but I was waiting." And she gave it to me. I'm like, "Wow, this is amazing." Then she was like, "I'm going to get ready to leave out of this room." This room had a kitchen and things. She was like, "I'm about to leave. I'm going to put in a good word for you. Just met me. I'm going to put in a good word for you so you can get that room." So I went out of town that weekend to go visit my kids. And lo and behold, when I come back, the woman was gone, and the owner of the hotel come to me. "I've been holding this room for you." I'm like, "What?" That's rare. Hotels don't hold rooms for you because they all about that money. But God ain't about that money. God can do anything. So I moved to that room. And when I moved to that room, I was like, I need to buy some things, dishes and stuff. So I'm like, let me buy some dishes and stuff since I got a room with a kitchen and all this and stuff. And I gotta do something. I gotta make this look like a home, right? So I got everything prepped, got everything I need. Even got a TV there. I bought me a TV from someone, and got me a little video game system and all this stuff. Got a lot of things that I needed because I wanted to make it home. I don't care where I'm at. I'm gonna make it home. So I'm thinking this is it. This is where I'm gonna be. And the Lord put in my mind. I was talking to my brother. He was like, "You know what? That house empty with your cousin. That your cousin has." I'm like, "Let me call her and see what's up." So I text her one weekend. She's like, "Yeah, it's empty." She's like, "Come by and talk to me." So I came and talked to her. She's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Nothing much." She was like, I was like, "Oh, she gonna tell me how much it's gonna cost." I'm gonna tell you how much it costs. It really don't matter, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. She's like, "I'll let you stay in there for $300 a month." I'm like, "How much I gotta give you down?" $300. I'm like, "What?" Boy, I jumped on that like, whew, quick. I'm like, I gotta do this. Open that door. I saw the house years before. I said I wanted it. I said I liked it. And God gave it to me. God is so good, people. If you look at the signs and be patient and faint not, just keep your eyes on the prize, which is the high calling of the Most High God. And everything gonna work out so fine for you. You're gonna be like, whoa, I can tell you story upon story. How God has helped me and delivered me and opened up doors over and over again to set me up to exactly where I am today. That's why I don't hold grudges. I don't have no regrets about nothing in life. Because I know God has a plan. I may not know it, but I know He has one. All I know I do, I could keep the faith. Let me pause now. We'll continue one more time, people.